Hello you, welcome back to PalaceFanTV. It's our Liverpool preview video. I'm Jim Daly and I'm joined by the cream of the crop of Liverpool fans. It's only Paul and Chris from RedMenTV. Hello chaps.
Hello, mate.
How are you?
Sensational, all the better because of your brand spanking new haircut for this video, mate.
Wow, that's just the kind of dedication that I do for you guys and for PalaceFanTV and for all our listeners. Good. Okay, well let's start off then with your thoughts on Jurgen Klopp. A few games in, some good results. What were your thoughts when he came in? Did you want him, and how do you feel now after a few games?
There's a chance that the lens might get a bit steamy if we get into this a bit too much. But yeah, listen, personally, absolutely buzzing, over the moon. If there was one guy out there, and I don't even think of just the available managers, I think of managers in world football that I think was the absolute perfect fit for Liverpool Football Club. Jurgen Klopp, he was top of the dream list, and so to go out there and get him and sort it out so quickly was just amazing.
What about you, Chris? Is he a man?
He's brilliant, mate. He's absolutely brilliant. I mean, I've looked into him a lot more since he became our manager, of course. Didn't know massive amounts about his Dortmund side, obviously seen them in the Champions League, don't follow German football, so I've looked into him a lot since then. And as Paul says there, everything that he's doing and everything that he seems to do over his career, it says that he's a perfect fit for Liverpool.
He seems because he's charismatic. Liverpool's is one of these charismatic traditional clubs. It's kind of like a perfect fit.
Oh God, absolutely. You need someone who someone to look up to, someone who you feel gets it. I think there is a certain way of behaving that is acceptable to Liverpool fans, and there's a certain way of behaving that isn't acceptable to Liverpool fans. And if you can play, who is the antithesis? No, well, no, actually, I'm not. I'm talking about the antithesis. Who is the antithesis of Jurgen Klopp, who's been a Liverpool manager in the past and didn't work out?
Brendan Rodgers.
Roy Hodgson, thank you.
Oh, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah.
But and that talk about a guy who just didn't get it, didn't talk the talk, and didn't have the charisma to bear the weight of the football club. Klopp, spot on.
Well, I mean, in the same way we have a man with charisma, which some might call arrogance, in Alan Pardew. Someone who knows the club. So maybe he's our own Klopp. But talking about Palace, this is a Palace preview video. We've beaten Liverpool 2 out of the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Are we your bogey club now?
I don't like us for that reason.
I
love
Palace, man. I've got a soft spot. Yeah, I think. You
know what? Actually, it's not Palace. It's Gale, but he's gone now, hasn't he? So.
Well, no, he's back.
He's back.
He got suspended a couple of weeks ago. He came back. He played very well against Man United. So sorry.
Yeah.
He's probably going to start.
Add that little bit of research into our preview. That'll do.
I think you're thinking of Glenn Murray, who went in the summer, and it was a toss-up between Murray or Gale, who stays. Murray went. So Gale is playing. Do you guys have nightmares of Gale? Is he the bogeyman for you?
Yeah. yeah. You know what? Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. It's terrible. You know what? I just want to get back to the days when we just used to wipe the floor with you. So
that was nice.
And we could turn up to games thinking, let's give our heroic captain a nice send off that he deserves, instead of just turning up and basically pissing on our chips for fun every season. You've cost us Steven Gerrard's fanfare and his one last hurrah. You've basically cost us a league title. So. I you know what? Actually, no, I don't like Palace. I think soft spot I have for Palace seems to be getting slowly. Can't you just go back to having Attilio Lombardo and being rubbish?
He was great. Great memories. So why are Palace doing so well against Liverpool at the moment? Like in the last couple of years, what is the reason behind that?
Players, man. That's what it comes down to, doesn't it? At the end of the day, I mean, they're doing well in the league so far this season. I'm a massive fan of Punching. I think he's a tremendous footballer.
I'm a massive fan of kicking.
Punching. In general. Oh God, Paul, come on, mate. This is a highbrow
it's been a very long
video.
There you go. There we go. Someone's got to set the bar low.
Yeah.
So you've got the room to basically excel.
We appreciate it.
And I've done that. I think he's in due course. You'll come to see how important I've been to this preview.
We really appreciate it. So hang on. So where can the likes of Gale and Punchin, who should both be starting, hurt Liverpool at the moment? Where's the weak spots, if any?
If you run at Martin Skrtel,
The defence.
Just run at him.
The defence.
Yeah, he will back off and back off and back off all the time.
Yeah, I'm less convinced. I'm more convinced of the fact that Palace exploited the limitations of Liverpool, and I think it's telling that once we lost the game to Chelsea 2 seasons ago, which was the real one that was the heartbreaking one in terms of our league title push at the time, Liverpool have never been the same since. And I think what Pardew and what Palace in general have been able to do is exploit the obvious weaknesses. I don't think it's been I don't think toe-to-toe, on our best day, Palace could have done it, but I think there were some really obvious problems that Brendan Rodgers didn't identify at Liverpool. Pardew looked at them and went, this is how you beat Liverpool, and we'll go out and do it that way. And I think that Liverpool will have a far better chance of getting something out of this game than we have done under the previous manager.
And I mean, Klopp obviously seems to have sort of rejuvenated things. Everyone at Liverpool seems a bit more kind of in love, with the game and with football. But are there still a few things that he hasn't quite worked on yet?
I think so, yeah. I mean, obviously he's not been in them for a great length of time, so I don't think he's going to work on everything that he's wanted. But, we are showing a steady improvement in performances that was, culminated with the result against Chelsea at the weekend. But there's plenty of things that he'll be wanting to work on. The defence still looks shaky at times. I don't think we're playing anywhere near the type of football that he wants. He keeps talking in his press conferences about Liverpool players being braver on the ball, playing too many sort of easy passes, and he wants us to attack quickly, and it's something that we've struggled. We've really laboured going forward this season. So I think there's loads for us still to work on.
I think there's a point that he's definitely made a marked improvement. He's come in and he said, well, we're going to change our approach. I'm going to get the most I can possibly get out of these players. And I think that's a big strength of his. But there's also, you've got to consider, and it's got to be taken into consideration, that as good as he is, you can't polish a turd. So, I think there's going to be some players that he can improve, and there'll be players that he can get the best of that the previous manager couldn't. But there's going to be a ceiling to one or two of those players, I think, that he will get the most out of. But there are players that the likes of Martin Skrtel might be a good example of that. He's 30 years old. He's our longest serving centre half, and yet we've had the worst defence we've ever had in that time period. So he will be an obvious weakness for Palace to exploit, and there's something that Klopp can help with, but there's limits to his magical powers.
Imagine if he had real magical powers. That would be
great. Yeah, I'd just settle for just winning football matches first and foremost, and then.
It's funny you say, Chris, about going forward not quite clicking at the moment. It's exactly the same for us. We are fairly solid in midfield and at the back, but going forward, it isn't really working. Which brings me to our predictions, because all that sounds like it's going to be 0-0. But I've asked you guys, we're doing a new thing here on PalaceFanTV. I've asked you to write down your prediction on a bit of paper. I've done the same, and we're going to turn it over at the same time and just, see what happens. We might have the same result. Are you ready?
Born ready.
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Can I?
Okay, Chris and I got the same score reversed. I've gone 2-1 Palace, 2-1 Liverpool.
I've gone for a fine vintage.
Come on.
The year is 1989. Crystal Palace are a shambles of a football club, and Liverpool have just beaten them 9-0. John Aldridge throws his short into the crowd, and all wheel away. Very happy people.
And could I just fast forward 8 months to April 1990, when a certain Alan Pardew, who by the way was rubbish for Palace, pops up.
There's actually on that, Jim. There's an interesting one. I was over on Liverpool tour a year or so ago, and there's Rebecca Lowe, who does the American coverage of the Premier League, and it turns out she's a Palace fan. And funnily enough, I think it's a bit of a stock response, to be honest. That year, 9-0, remember 9-0? Ha ha ha! Well, allow me to remind you, you're going to talk about the FA Cup, aren't you?
It's only fair. Chaps, that's great. Thank you very much for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. Thoroughly enjoyed it, mate.
And bad luck for Sunday.
And you, my friend.
Good. Palace fans, don't forget to subscribe for more of these preview and review videos. Comment below with your thoughts. What is the score going to be on Sunday? Are Palace going to get another result over Liverpool? Follow us on Instagram and Snapchat, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.